This is FM HDMS, your digital Radio 1 station. Good morning, everybody. I'm Simone Malone, one of your most trusted and respected voices in radio. You clicked it, you got it, and hopefully it's what you expected. Well, we're now at the end of the month, but we're still celebrating Black History Month. What does Black History mean to you? Well, today I have an exciting guest that's going to share about Tracy Martin, who is coming to Philadelphia, the father of Trayvon Martin, to visit Arcadia University for Letters to Trayvon event that's happening this Saturday. I want to give her kudos, the Honorable Dr. Doreen E. Loury, Associate Professor of Sociology and Director of Pan-African Studies right here in Philadelphia at Arcadia University. I want to welcome you to the Songbook of Gospel. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful, and good morning to your audience and to the radio feel-good man.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited about sharing this information. First of all, I want to thank you for your commitment of education, for the excellence that you have been doing for 23 years. Is that correct at Arcadia University?
That's correct. I'm probably as old as some of the rocks that are here.
Well, I just want to congratulate you for hanging in there and sticking in there and educating our people in the Department of Sociology and, of course, the Director of Pan-African Studies. Well, Dr. Loury, I want to get into the meat of this conversation. First of all, what was going through your mind when you guys decided to do this major event, this fundraising event that's happening this Saturday, that tickets are sold out?
Yes, we're like Steve Harvey. We are sold out.
And, that's great because people want to be there to hear about this. So can you share a little bit about the vision and the passion that you have for this event?
Well, I was very, very fortunate. One of the things that the Black Male Development Symposium has always done is encourage collaboration and partnership. And a young lady by the name of LaWanda Horton, who's with Mission Incorporated, came to me last year and really talked about wanting to do this event and really wanted to kind of move it a certain kind of way. So I talked to my board. We all sat around and we said, this is a perfect partnership. We both have the same vision, and that's about building and making sure people understand that the narrative of black boys and men that we see is not true. Mm-hmm. So since that was one of the main impetus for her, it became a wonderful partnership. So we partnered. They had already started this phenomenal media campaign that they had been doing for a year. Mm-hmm. She said they had gone online, I think 2 years after his death, Trayvon's death, and were tweeting, and no one was out there talking about it. So that prompted her to say, we've got to do something, and then we came together, and the event has really organically grown. It really is. We were so fortunate for the Trayvon Martin Foundation to come on, and when the foundation came on, we then kind of didn't know, but we said, can we get Mr. Martin? And he chose our event over a lot of events he could have done. He chose ours.
That's great. And this event is Letters to Trayvon, a celebration of black men and boys, an event featuring Tracy Martin that celebrates the life of Trayvon Martin on this coming Saturday, correct?
That's correct. And we did a VIP reception,
right,
so that people in a fairly intimate surroundings, about 96, we had 96 chairs, tables and everything for a really nice dinner with Mr. Martin, and really to have a conversation. And then we have a bigger program that right after that at 7 o'clock with Solomon Jones, who's going to be, I didn't want to do a panel. So what we did was we're going to have 2 chairs on the stage, the table in front of the chair, and they're going to have a conversation. He's going to interview him and talk with him, because on one hand, this man has a lot to teach all of us about healing and forgiving. And that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that it was not just talking heads or the constant pontification on what's wrong with, going on in the world. We know what that is. But I needed to make sure that people could hear a voice about healing. Yeah. I mean, I'm a mother. I can't imagine standing over my child's grave. It puts me in a mindset that I don't do well on, And so this man is still what I call standing upright and walking and talking every day.
Awesome. Dr. Loury, they quoted you stating that the death of Trayvon Martin and the series of recent incidents involving men of color who have lost their lives through needless violence has brought forth national dialogue on race and justice. you stated that. Can you share your feedback on that and your personal comments about that statement?
Well, to me, I'm of a different generation. I'm a baby boomer. I'm 67. I always tell my age because when people see my picture, they're going to say she doesn't look that old.
You look great.
Okay, hey, black don't. We know that. Okay, so again, I remember Emmett Till.
Uh-huh.
I remember my mother hiding the Jet magazine so that I wouldn't see the picture. And I got the picture and I looked at it. And then to put that alongside what this beautiful 14-year-old child looked like before those monsters killed him never left my mind. I grew up in Ohio. I grew up in the heart of the civil rights movement. So the narrative of black men for me has never been confused because I had a good daddy. I had men around me that showed me you went to work every day, you took care of your family, you took care of your children. So in that narrative, when the narrative started changing through the media, much of it, and through some other things, and then having a son and having grandsons who I now have to instruct before they leave my home so I can make sure they get back home safely, I'm saying something's wrong here. Something's wrong. I have phenomenal police officer friends. I am not indicting all police officers, but there is something wrong with a society that has thrown away a large segment of the population, and that's African American men and boys.
So Dr. Loury, what do you want to say to the mothers out there that are dealing with this on a daily basis? There's so much violence in this city, as you know. What do you really want to say coming from a mother perspective?
It's the hardest thing in the world to try to train our young men to be men, but still humble. And humble that when they are stopped by the police, when they are confronted by a police authority, that in some ways, and I say to them, I'm not telling you not to be a man, but at the same time, keep your mouth shut. Okay, and I have had brothers beat me up on this, and I say, it is not the child's job to do the fight. It is my job as a parent. So you got to get back. I've trained my kids to look at the badges and memorize them. That's one thing I train them on. I say, you look at the badge, you put it in your head, and you make sure you keep it. Keep your hands to a certain way. I mean, you really have to train your children because the job for that child is to come home, give me the information, then me with an attorney, I'm the one then that starts the fight. And that's what we have to train them. That bravado that many times young brothers want to stand there with the cops and, what you mean, what did I do? I didn't do nothing. Keep your darn mouth shut.
Right. That is
great
words of
wisdom.
wisdom.
And I tell my kids, my mama's name is.
Yes.
Okay. My daddy's name. So they, okay, here is their number.
Yeah. Good information. Great words of wisdom coming from a mother and a professor. So what do you expect people to go out of this event on Saturday? What do you expect that's going to happen in the atmosphere?
Well, because we've done a couple of things. One of the things we've done, we've got some young men coming in from MOTEP who've got a phenomenal presentation that they're going to be doing that actually takes it back from it's a spoken word acting kind of piece that they're going to be doing with Emmett Till, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, and Trayvon Martin, where they're kind of doing an imagery of them. We've actually have some visual artists who are African American males. Their works are going to be displayed. Denise Allen, I don't know if you've ever seen Denise Allen's work called By the Content of My Character, Portraits of Young African American Men. We're going to have her exhibit all up in there, as the kids say. Again, young men in hoodies and all kinds of wonderful things that they're doing. That's going to be going on. We're going to also have, and it just left my mind, I just had a freeze. We had a Letters to Trayvon letter writing contest. And the winner is Mr. Michael D. Shields, and Michael's going to read his letter, and it is so powerful. 3 people won, but Michael was the one that won that we're going to, have actually read. So that, again, is showing, people a different side of black males. Plus, we have a phenomenal phenomenal premiere of an installation, an art installation called Undocumented Truth. And it is so powerful. And I don't know if you've heard about this young man that's been going all over the United States where he's built a jail cell.
Oh, wow.
And he's chained and everything. He's going to be there with that installation as well. We got a full day. And all I can say to people is, I'm sorry. We've been putting this out there for 3 months because I know when we hang up, people are going to call me. Here's what they can do. Here's what they can do.
Well, you know what? Flipping to what they can do, this is just a lead to what's happening on May the 9th. Let's talk about what's going to happen on May 9th, and I plan to be there too. Let's talk about that, Dr. Loury.
Well, what this started out with, Letters to Trayvon, is indeed our fundraiser.
Right.
And it's the fundraiser for the Black Male Development Symposium. And it's going to, proceeds of this are going to provide scholarships for young people to attend our 9th, I can't believe we've been doing this 9 years, our 9th annual Black Male Development Symposium event, which is May 9th, Saturday, May 9th, 2015, at Arcadia University. We have over 1,000 people on this campus that day for that conference.
Awesome.
We have over 50-something workshops. We have an afternoon of nothing but wonderful interactive activities, and we have something called Barbershop Talk, which has become the highlight of this whole piece. It started out with a friend, I know you know him as well as I did, E. Stephen Collins.
Absolutely.
Yes, and E was the one that, helped me do this, and now we call it E's Barbershop Talk.
Wonderful.
And it's actually barbershop chairs, men on the stage, and talking about who they are and how they got to be where they were as men. So the day is chock full. It begins at 9. We don't walk out of here till 5. And young people look at me, and all they say to me is, when are we doing this again? And I have authors from all over the United States coming, and they actually donate their books because in the bags, everybody gets a T-shirt and they get a book and they get other material. So one of the authors. So again, it's a day that is. We said it's become out of hand. On one level, we could do 2,000 people. I just don't have the capacity. But again, it's an empowering day. I mean, to see young men, old men, all kinds of men, and women, Because we have a sister circle. We have a parent institute. So we have worked very hard to make sure that anybody that comes to this event May 9th will be provided with all the information they need if they live, love, and work with black males and men.
Awesome. Now, is there a cost for this event?
Yes, for the BMDS one, everything's online.
Okay.
All right, and I'll give you that. That's www.blackmaledevelopment.com.
Real easy. One more time.
It is. And I'm going to tell you, the site is phenomenal. I always give a shout out to Nasir Jones, who is my webmaster. And Nasir has made it so it's very easy. If you want to donate, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to do scholarships for young people, if you want to place an ad, if you want to register. Everything is there, along with video from our past conferences with people like Hill Harper. We've had him here, Kevin Powell. So, again, we really have done some wonderful work. And my team, it's not me, it's a team that I have at all volunteer team. All where I say with good jobs, okay? So that means these are people that are there at the table because they love what we're doing.
Right.
But they know, and I always say, we all say the same thing, if not us, then who?
Right.
And
wonderful.
that's how we have to say it.
I love it. They love working with you because of your vision and passion. So Dr. Loury, real quick, I want you to give the website again because people need to lock that date in on May 9th because I'm definitely going to be there and I'm going to see you before that time. But what do you want to say to all those other educators out there? I toured high school some time ago. I lecture on my commandments of broadcasting. I'm not a professor, but I seem like I am when I get in the classroom and teach these folks. But what do you want to say coming from your years of experience as a professor to other professors that are teaching and sociology and African and Pan-African American studies to carry on this vision and to live out their passion of changing America with issues like this?
I think as professors, and I've actually lectured on this, we have to learn how to move out of the ivory tower and bring the community to the ivory tower. And yes, it's work. Yes, it's work. But again, colleges are not set up just to keep us enclosed. There are no gates enclosing us so that we can't get out. I believe it's to keep folks from getting in. Okay? And what I'm very clear about is that I'm always going to make sure that the college reaches out to the community, bringing young people onto your campus who may have never thought or imagined that in their life that this is part of something that they could even do. We've been able to see young people register at Arcadia. They'll come and say, you don't know me. I came to the conference when I was 12 years old. Now, you know how that makes me feel.
Wow.
And I said that I wanted to be on that campus because of what I did when I was 12 years old. So I would believe as educators, education, Du Bois and told us that constantly. An African American is more than a scholar. They have to be an activist scholar. And I get that. As an activist scholar, that means that I have to do something more in the classroom. I take the classroom seriously, and I'm very good at it. But I also know that I've got young people helping with this project.
Awesome.
And I'm talking about black, white, Latino, you name it. They are helping with the project. They're going to be walking around working that day. Do you know what that means to a white student who may have never worked with somebody who was black, all right, they're coming to my office and say, I want to work that day. I want to work that day.
Good.
And again, because they know that this is an experience or a way for them to learn more. That's what we can do as educators. If you don't bring everybody into the arena, it's going to be a lonely fight.
I know that's right. Everybody come together on one accord and make a difference. And you're making a difference, Dr. Loury. We really appreciate that. So go ahead and invite the people on May 9th. Going to be a nice hot day in May.
Yes, it is.
And go ahead and invite them to come out.
For 9 years, we've been lucky. Okay.
That's great.
We have great weather. And if you really want to do something,
Yes.
I'm telling teachers, I'm telling principals, I'm telling people in colleges, organizations that have young people, we've made it priced right for you. It's $30. You're asking me, and I can't even think, but it's $35, I believe,
Okay.
for young people. And again, that day you're going to get lunch. You're going to get a continental breakfast. You're going to get a wonderful BMDS bag, a T-shirt, a book, and all kinds of goodies, and a whole afternoon and day of empowering workshops and good fun. So come to us on Arcadia on Saturday, May 9th from 9 until 5. The website is www.blackmaledevelopment, or you can call us at 215-572-8510.
And you know what's interesting is that an African American woman is the one that's spearheading this whole thing. Isn't that awesome?
Well, it's awesome on one hand, but I am very quick to say to people, I have nothing but wonderful men around me.
I know that's right.
And they know I am the one who will go down the hall and say, I'm going to go make the copies. You go in and make the speeches.
Yeah.
So my ego is in good shape. It's really in good shape, okay, because I know that men need to be out front with this. I'm just lucky because I have the logistical and the facility stuff to be able to do this piece. Right. I don't need to be out front. I put the brothers out all the time and say, they said, radio show, Dr. Larry. Yeah, you go. Okay, you know, because again, I really want my role to be writing grants.
Yes.
Out here talking to people, getting them to do things, because I think I need to make sure I say this, and this is important for anybody out there trying to do this kind of work. I made sure that this project is my own 501(c)(3).
Congratulations.
Because, again, I want to be able to walk away from Arcadia when I'm retiring, and I can still work with Arcadia and utilize the facility, but if not, this goes with me.
Awesome. You're planting seeds and you are making a difference. What do you want to say in conclusion to the people?
Well, our young men are in trouble. We are in trouble. Our nation is in trouble. What are we going to do so that our young men can walk the streets, not be afraid, and be able to understand that the paradigm that somebody else is writing about them is not true. We need to make sure that we look at these young men and we say to them, we love you, we want to keep you safe, and we respect you. And again, many times we are afraid to talk to young men. We have got to start doing what we did in the old days. The old heads have got to be talking to the young heads. That's very African-centered. As an elder, I say this all the time to the brothers. I love you. And you want to see a reaction? Walk down the street, encounter 3 or 4 young men and say, what's happening today, black man? You know I love you. I have stood for 2 hours talking to them.
I know that's right. It makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Absolutely.
It makes a difference.
Well, Dr. Loury, I want to thank you so much. I know that you're such a busy woman, and I got you in enough time so you can go on to your class and teach these folks today.
Yes, I am. I'm teaching African American imagery in the media, so we're going to talk about the white-on-white Oscars.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to having some coffee or tea with you one day real soon, and we're going to be a part of this May the 9th. Anything that I can do to be a great support and help on the media side, you know that the feel-good man, your trusted and respected voice in radio, is on this side for you, okay?
Well, thank you and your audience, and you everyone. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
Now, just before you go, I'm going to let you give some shout-outs because I know you're quite loved. I know the list is numerous, but go ahead and shout some people out and give them some praise and glory. Go ahead.
Well, for the Black Male Development Symposium Executive Committee, I love you, I love you, I love you. What's not for you, this would not have happened. People like David Poindexter, who made sure this interview happened, Andrea Lawfer, and you get in trouble when you start mentioning people, but Tom Butler, Charmaine Thompson, Laura Reddick, my daughter, who hangs with me, Michelle Wilson at Imhotep, Sarah Max, Sarah Lomax, Solomon Jones, and LaWanda Horton and Henry Salter, her husband, and Amina Woods. These young people with Mission Incorporated have really, really come on and really worked very hard. So, and Nasir Jones, who I always give a shout out, our webmaster, and Arcadia University, and again, Laura Baldwin and her team at Arcadia with the media people. Everyone has embraced this project and made sure that we do what we do, then it's done with class, with dignity and respect, because I definitely want to respect the Trayvon Martin Foundation and Mr. Martin himself. So this is going to be a wonderful evening, and May 9th is even going to be even more powerful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a super great day, and I'll talk to you real soon. God bless you real good.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.